Continuing with the project Likkutei Sichos, we're going to learn today, Baruch Hashem, we're starting on Shmois. Last week was Chazak, and we're starting Shmois, Chelek Zayin. We're going to learn Sicha Gimel and Chelek Zayin. Givaldik, there's not, I don't have the words to say what this Sicha is. It's a Rashi, beautiful Rashi, not understood completely. And the Rebbe is going to teach us how to learn Rashi. The Rebbe is going to open up our eyes and see what Rashi meant. Go into Rashi's head and see what Rashi meant. After that, the Rashi is becoming lichtig, light. And then the Chumash, the posik in the Chumash that the Rashi is explaining, is becoming a new posik, a new Chumash. And the Rebbe is going to bring the Rashi. The Rebbe is going to ask 5 questions, beautiful questions on Rashi. And then the Rebbe is going to try to give an answer. And the Rebbe is going to say, I can't use it because of 3 questions on the Rebbe's Chidush. Then the Rebbe is going to give his Chidush Niflo Beyoser, and all the questions are going down. By the end of the Sicha, there's a Yena Shel Torah, Poshet Gishmak, Yena Shel Torah. The Rebbe connects everything together like a big puzzle with all the pieces. Unbelievable. And there's also a beautiful limud, a very special limud, what we learn from this Yena Shel Torah, that, as you mentioned, that we learned last week in the Sicha also, the idea of not always thinking about yourself, thinking about somebody else. Or better think about somebody else than the Rebbe is going to think about you, like V'ezmin HaYom Yom. I think it's Baal Shem Tov's Avot. Or Bol Ta'idin, what the Rebbe Shtadir also. All these, the 3 things that it says in HaYom Yom. So it's Poshet, beautiful, every word. Okay. Before we start the Sicha, just a second to give what it is. There is 2 psukim in Parshas, one after the other. Moshe Rabbeinu was put in a table, was put in the river. Then Basparo came down to bathe, and she saw it, and there was a nest. Yeah, she was too far, and her hand stretched out, and she picked up Moshe, and she took him out. He didn't want an else, so Punkt was there. His sister was standing there. Yocheved is the mother. Miriam was there, and she said, "I'll bring him." So she went and she brought her mother, and she took him. By the end, what does it say? It says, "Vayigdal hayeled, v'tiveyu leBasparo." When Moshe Rabbeinu got big, Yocheved or Miriam brought him back to Basparo. She gave him a condition: take the baby and nurse him. He doesn't want to nurse. He can't live without nursing. Then there's a posik right after that. Vayigdal bayom imoheim, vayigdal Moshe, vayetze elecho. And what happened then? He saw the Ma'asim with the Mitzri, and he killed the Mitzri. So we have 2 psukim. One is Vayigdal hayeled, one is Vayigdal Moshe. And this is what this Sicha is based on, what Rashi is based on, and the Rebbe is explaining it. Poshet mamish gishmak. Aleph, from Pasuk Vayi bayom imoheim, this is the second one. Vayi bayom imoheim, vayigdal Moshe, vayetze, vayachas ha-Mitzri, is Rashi matik diverta vayigdal Moshe. And we remember always one of the major klolei Rashi that the Rebbe gave already at the beginning when he started Rashi Tov Shin Chofei, that if Rashi, that whatever is in Rashi from the Pasuk is also Rashi, and it's pretending it's negea to every word in Rashi. And we're going to see one of the questions is going to be, what does it bring down both words if if he's only bothered by one? Vayigdal Moshe is mefarish. It says a posik before Vayigdal hayeled. What's again Vayigdal Moshe? Rashi is finishing. Omar Rab Yudah beRabbi Eloi, Rishon lekoimo, v'asheni legdule. The first one that says Vayigdal hayeled v'teveyu is that it became big, and Asheni legdule that it became gdule. What's gdule? So Rashi is finishing. Shemino Paroi al beisoi. Paroi made him in charge on his house. Maybe every morning to look if there's enough bread. Be in charge of the house. That's what it means. Mino al beisoi. Okay. Learning the Pashtus. This is the Rashi. Learning the Pashtus is by Rashi kosher. Dieselbe kashe wie Medrash. When I learn it simple, I start learning the Chumash. Aber Chumash le Mikro. But Rashi. So the Rebbe says like the Medrash. Es steht schon im früheren Posuk bei Moshe Vayigdal hayeled. Aber was sagt der Posuk Vayigdal Moshe? At zweiten Mal. It says already one time. What's that second time? Could have said Vay bayom imoheim, vayetze Moshe elecho. For was sagt noch mal auf dem Antwort Rashi? Rashi bothered with this. Omar Rab Yudah or Rishon lekoimo v'asheni legdule. Yeah. So the Rebbe gives a simple answer what bothered Rashi, and that's why Rashi gives this pirush. The Rebbe says no, I can't learn it. This is not what bothered Rashi. Why? The Rebbe says the pirush is aber lichoire. This is the Rebbe's language. In ganzen nicht verstandig. It's not understood because it doesn't make sense that this is the thing that bothered Rashi. Why? So the Rebbe is explaining. Der Friedrich Posuk, Vayigdal hayeled, steht bald beimshech noch die Wörter vatika choishe vayeled vatenikeu. Was davon ist verstandig, wie Parshas redet sich wegen Vayigdal berech dem Zman von vatenikeu bis auf dalet chodesh. Als noch ist Vayigdal hayeled, darf man nicht ankommen zu Nike und davor Vativei ole bas paroi. The Rebbe is explaining a very simple, very geschmack. What does it mean? Vayigdal hayeled vativei ole bas paroi. Why did she take the Moshe? Because he didn't want to nurse. But she took him to nurse. Yeah? The minute Vayigdal hayeled, it became big. So what happened then? He doesn't have to nurse anymore. So he went back to bas paroi. Right? So this posuk is understood. Now the Rebbe said the second posuk is also understood. Now the Rebbe says in the other paragraph, Vayigdal Moshe, in that posuk doesn't talk about the age that it was finished nursing and he has to go back to bas paroi. It's two separate time zones. One is when it was 24 months when he stopped nursing, she brought him, and then Vayigdal Moshe. So I can't say that Rashi was bothered why it says two times Vayigdal Moshe as the Medrash. So we don't have an answer about bothered Rashi. Aber Vayigdal Moshe in dem Posuk redt wegen a Gidl, was bringt zur Meglichkeit weil Yachas HaMitzri. Because Vayigdal is 24 months. 24 months is not in a stage of a Yachas HaMitzri. I couldn't be taught 24 months. Maybe he's not even walking yet good by 24 months. So it can be. So that's Chumash is understood very simple. What did bother Rashi? We don't know. A viele Norden wir hat sich schön gefunden, weil a längere Zeit war bas paroi. Then it could happen. And was is beschwer der Käfer von Vayigdal? So I can say that this is what bothered Rashi, the same as the Medrash. So we're standing with the same question. What did bother Rashi in this posuk that he's trying to explain? So this is in general what did bother Rashi. Now in the inside of the Rashi, as Rashi is explaining, we're going to have 5 questions. Beautiful questions. Okay, Ois base. In dem Pirush Rashi Gufe, in the Pirush, darf man verstehen. Aleph, der Derech von Rashi bei Pirush ist, wie gerät vielmal, nicht so ist schon früher die Schwierigkeit im Posuk mit der noch Veränderung, nur es bald mit Weiher im Posuk und mit Derech Mele wird veränderung die Scheile im Posuk. Tofa, was da, oib Rashi on mit der Scheile, weil ich mal gesehen, Vayigdal hayeled. Very simple thing. Rashi comes to explain the Ben Chumash Lemikro, what the Chumash is saying. So Rashi doesn't say the question and he gives you the answer. Rashi gives a statement. According to this statement, you understand that it was a question and he gives you the answer. Here the same thing. Why did Rashi say Va'aloi kvaksi Vayigdal hayeled? It says already one time Vayigdal hayeled. Rashi usually doesn't do it. But what should Rashi have done here like he does in all the other places? Omar Rabbi Yehuda ben Rabbi Eloi, or Rishon lekoimo. So I would know that Rashi bothered. Why is there 2 Vayigdals? Rishon lekoimo, v'sheni lekdula. This is the answer. So a beautiful question. Why is Rashi bringing down a question and then an answer? And according to the Rebbe's Chidush, it's going to be beautiful why Rashi is doing it. Based on a second shaila, wie passt da der Loschen Rishon lekoimo? Why does Rashi say Omar Rabbi Yehuda ben Rabbi Eloi or Rishon lekoimo? It doesn't fit this Rishon lekoimo here. Why? Von dem Mann, wenn ein Kind wird nicht mal für Nike kommt ihm zu in der Status von seinen Chitzonis die Keivorim. We established that what the bas paroi must be when he finished nursing because she gave him to nurse. When he finishes nursing, he comes back. So the Rebbe said when a 2-year-old stops nursing, he starts walking, he starts gaining weight, he starts growing tall, and his seichel is developing, he's starting to speak clear. Why does Rashi choose Rishon lekoimo, that he became tall? Why doesn't he use everything? Say that he originally became big. The Rebbe says, so let's see inside. Es kommt zu Vogue, he gains a lot of weight, und Mos, he becomes big, es entwickelt sich sein Chush HaDibur, he starts speaking more clear, and the Seichel is being developed more. Was ist da der Gosche von der alle Sachen herausbringen, Gidl bekoimo? According to the Rebbe's Chidush, we'll see why Rashi is beginning to become. Very good, a good point. But Omar Rabbi Yehuda ben Rabbi Eloi is also from Gemara. But he could have said Omar Rabbi Yehuda ben Rabbi Eloi, and he could have said Rishon that he stopped nursing, or some other word. Why does he have to say? Rashi doesn't bring down a medrash or a Gemara with the lotion that they're saying it. Never. Not, I wouldn't say never, but it's not a must ever that Rashi is bringing down something, the whole thing what they say. He brings down what's pretending to this thing. And koimo doesn't make any sense. Why koimo?
Der erste Kasche verändert this Kasche, the first Kasche. When we say over here, what did Rashi have a problem?
Yeah.
So he says, ganz nicht verstandig. Because it's ganz nicht verstandig, that's the reason that he brings down Vayikvai Tzivayigdal. Because if I wouldn't bring Vayikvai Tzivayigdal, wollte ich nicht wissen, es ist doch eine Scheile. Er sagt sich ganz nicht verstandig, sie darf nicht eine Scheile.
So Gut.
Ich verstehe das noch später, aber doch gleich.
Ja,
Einer mit
ja.
der andere. Gleich vernommen. Der erste Scheile ist verantwortlich mit der ersten Scheile. Ja,
Sehr gut, sehr gut.
I frequent Shiloh's Tam. I
Yeah.
much don't understand. Ganz nicht verstanden. Mit dem Hektar von
Du,
Shiloh.
aber es ist Pearl, 2 Scheiles, aber du proofst einfach nicht im Band.
Oh, sorry, Adarabbe. No, Adarabbe. No, it's very good. It's a sheer. It's not something that I learned for myself or I record. It's very good. No, I'm very happy. But I'm thinking what could be the answer. Okay.
I understand
Yeah. Okay. Gimel. The third shayla what the Rebbe is asking. Von wann ist der Rech im Pshuto shel Mikro von dem Posuk, als der Gadlus v'chshivus von Moshe ist verstanden, in dem was we know Paroi al Beisoy. You asked about before that Rabbi Yehuda Rebbe Eloi saying it. The Rebbe says very good. Rabbi Yehuda Eloi saying it. But in Pshuto shel Mikro, it says anything in Posuk here that Paroi made him the head of his house. He was in charge on his house. It doesn't say nowhere. From this Posuk, how do we take it? Befragt das von Hemshech HaPosuk bei Yetze Elechov ist Mashmas ist given der Gadlus bescheiches zu Echov zu den Iden und wieder Medreso. So Rabbi Shalom, what does Rashi say that by looking footnote number 9, Medrash Tanchume Vohero says, Ma Yosok Dulosoi, what's Vayigdal Moshe, what does it mean? Sheyotzo Elechov. Clear. So what does Rashi have to say? Shemino al Beisha. There's no proof in the Chumash, nowhere in this posuk that he made him in charge on his house. Dale, the fourth question. About the Tmiyah von Rashi is inside the Kefel from Vayigdal. Yeah, we established now that Rashi is bothered by it says Vayigdal 2 times. But what is a mighty from Posuk and board Vayigdal Moshe? Why do you bring down Vayigdal Moshe also? It should have bring down from Chumash only Vayigdal. Hey, the fifth question. Can do come upon and bring Rashi the name from Balamaima, also one of the Kloli Rashi that the Rebbe gave at the beginning, that when he brings down a name of whoever says it, there is a what do you call him in English? Somebody is sharp and he asks good questions. So when he brings down the name, so the Rebbe always would find out what bothered a special child, and with this giving the name, it gives him the answer. So the Rebbe is asking, darf man verstehen? This is not a question. I want to understand. Was wird da verantwortet durch die Idee, als das hat gesagt, Rabbi Rebbe Eloi? He brings the after all, he brings down the name. What's the reason? What am I gaining with that? What is he answering with that to the chat? So we have. I would like, if you could, you think of an answer on your question before we finish. Maybe you'll be able to tell us. Okay. So we have 5 questions. Number 1 is what is Rashi saying? A question and an answer. Could have said right away. Now understand that bothered them. Why does it say 2 times Vayigdal? Right. Second question is why does he choose lekoimo? There is a lot of developments in a child when he becomes 2 years, and we're talking about when she gave him back after he finished nursing. That's what the first posuk is telling me. So lechoire, why is Rashi choosing this? Number 3, where do we see in this posuk in Pshuto shel Mikro that he made him in charge of his house? Then question number 4 is that Rashi is bothered by Vayigdal. Why do you bring down Moshe? Moshe has nothing but to do here. Why do you bring down Vayigdal Moshe? The 5th question is that we learned already a lot of times that when he brings down a name of a Balamaimar, that it's seldom in Rashi is with a reason, because there's a question that a sharp kid is going to ask, and this is the answer. Okay. Ois Gimel. Ois Gimel, as we said before, the Rebbe is lechoire giving an answer, and he's going to ask on his answer, on his chidush, 3 questions that we can't use it, then he's coming to the chidush of the Rebbe. Ois Gimel. Lechoire wollte man gekannt sagen, als Rashi will da bewornen, als der Vayigdal in unser Posuk meint nicht demselben Zug von Gidl ins Mann, als es ist zugekommen noch a Sach Jom, weil es ist schwer zu sagen, als der Posuk soll sagen Vayigdal Stam, und damit meinen auch ich Sofe von einer gewissen Mann, nicht ausdeutschendig dabei, wie viel Mann das ist, noch a Gadlus in Chshivus legdu lechul. Rashi was, the Rebbe wants to say that Rashi was bothered. It says Vayigdal Ayeled Vatveyele Bas Paroi. So I know it's 24 months. Then it says Vayigdal Moshe, but it doesn't say how old it was. And it says that he killed the Mitzri. So Rashi is bothered with this. That's why Rashi gives the answer that Hasheni Lekdula, that in Pshuto shel Mikro I see that there must be here that he became something. Paroi made him in his house. So the Choyre answers all the questions. So the Rebbe say, no, I can't use it. But this is nicht maßbig, and I can't use it. That's nicht was. Why? The Rebbe is going to say 3 questions on this chiddush that the Rebbe wants to say. Aleph. Aber so Rashi, weil ich war ksiv Vayigdal Ayeled, שאס kommt erfahren sein nicht im Käfen von Vayigdal, not Shat from Vaigdal Moshe in unser Posik. What comes out according to the Rebbe's Chidush now? That Rashi was bothered here, what it says Vaigdal Moshe, without a date, without any time zone. How old was he? So why do you bring down Valuik from Nemba Vaigdal? So it doesn't make any sense. So it can't be that this is the thing that bothered Rashi, and this is what he answered. This is one proof that I can't use the Rebbe's Chidush. Based the Biur of Mershten Vaigdal Ayeled, at the Sment Lekoimo, is Iberi. You're not bothered with the first one. You're bothered only with the second one. If you're bothered only with the second one, bring down Vaigdal Moshe. Either say Omar Rav Yudah Berebeloi or without Omar Rav Yudah Berebeloi. Vaigdal Moshe, Likdula, Shemenei Upawe Al Beisai. That's it. What are you kreching to the first posik if it's not relevant here? So the second reason why we can't use it. Gimel, as the zweite Vaigdal is Benegech Shivus Vegadlus Likdula. The Rebbe says Rashi didn't have to say nothing. If this is Rashi's bother, why it says Vaigdal Moshe without a time zone, every child would understood what it means. Why? So the Rebbe is explaining. As the zweite Vaigdal is Benegech Shivus Vegadlus, that he made him Likdula. Wat men gekent verstehen euch on Pirush Rashi. You don't need Pirush Rashi net. Although with the zweimal Vaigdal, the Rebbe has proof that I think that the Ben Chomish Mikro learned already. It says Vaigdal was stehen früher bei Yitzchoken, steht Vaigdal Ayelet Vaigomal, and then right after that it says Vaigdal Oish, Vayelech Oler Vegodel, Ad Ki Godal Meoid. And Rashi says nothing because there's no question. Why? Because the first Vaigdal by Yitzchok is in Zman. What happened then? Bis Vaigomel. He stopped nursing, means it was 24 months. And the zweite Vaigdal is in movement from Gadlus. He became a rich man. With the Remshech HaKosov, Va'ilo mikne tzoyin mikne boko va'avudo rabo, shoyoimri. People would say, better to have this zevel pirdoisov shel Yitzchok, ve'lo ikaspo izov shel Avmelech. It's better to have the zevel, that the what do you call it in English? Axiom, what's the word? Yeah.
Garbage.
No, it's not garbage. What did you say?
Excrement?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Excrement. Yeah. Better to have the zevel perdoisav shel Yitzchok and not have kaspo isovish love melech. So the Rebbe said a beautiful thing. Ben Chomish Mikro remember that he learns Vaigdal. And that means Vaigdal he stopped nursing, and Vaigdal he became rich. Here is also the same thing. Vaigdal he became stopped nursing, and Vaigdal Moshe he made him in charge of his house. He became Choshev and he's in charge of his house. Okay, so we're coming back to the 5 questions on Rashi that we don't understand. Or is that the Rebbe is going to start explaining what it is. Or is that the Biur b'chol zeh? Der Posuk zog vayi ba yomim oeim vaigdal Moshe. Was bald steht bald noch Posuk vaigdal ayelet, meint es as der vaigdal Moshe is given by yomim oeim vom früher non zum Zman. From Vaigdal Ayelet, what Ve'ele Basparoi, Vailo Lebe. Beautiful. Listen to this, what the Rebbe is finding out what is the bother here. It says Vaigdal Ayelet, what Ve'ele Basparoi. Understood? Stop nursing, she brought him to bar. Then one posik, right after that, connected to this, it says, Va'i Bayomim Oem. What does it mean? At the same time. So I can't say that it was 10 years, 11 years, or 15 years. If it would have said, Va'i Bayomim or Rabbi Moem, I would have known that when she brought him, it was 24 months. Now, Vaigdal Moshe, Va'i Bayomim or Rabbi Moen, Vaigdal Moshe, and then he killed the Mitzri. So it doesn't make any sense. What is Bayomim? What's going on here? What age did she bring him to Bas Paroi? And at the same time, he went and killed the Mitzri. So it can't be that it's 24 months. What is going on here? This is what it's about. Listen to this. Poshet beautiful. As Vaigdal Ayelet what Ve'ele Bas Paroi Vailo Lebe. Meile kamen der Riber lechoire nicht lernen, als der Pirush von Vaigdal Moshe ist gdoilo b'chshivus, weil es dort kein Ort nicht zu sagen, als in der Yom Moim von Vaigdal Ayelet, noch der Tag von Siyam Zman Ha'inike ist Vaigdal Moshe Likdule. It's impossible that if it's by Yom Moim, that Paroi made him Likdule, it's no way in the world that it could be such a thing. The Riber is Rashi Mefaresh, original lekoimo, v'asheni Likdule. It's starting in the same time. But originally, Koimo and Hashem Likdule. Now we're going to understand also why Rashi is choosing from gaining weight, from everything. It chooses only which one? The Koimo. Why? Because it's a completely different time zone. The Rebbe is going to be Mechadesh. It's not the Rebbe's Chidush. The Rebbe just Mechadesh it to us in this posik. How we explain it. The Chidush is in Medrash. How old was Moshe when she brought him back? 11 years old. So now we have a new understanding in the Posik, Vayigdal hayeled v'tve'elu bas paroi. And now Rashi is bothered with this, but he can't explain it there because when you learn this first Posik, you really think that it's 24 months. When you come to the second Posik, you see that it can't be 24 months because it says Vayi bayomim mo'ein, must be at the same age, he's already 11 years old. That's why Rashi has to bring also the Shaile. Vayigdal hayeled, all the questions that we ask is going to go down with this Yesod that the Rebbe is putting down here. The Rebbe is Rashi meParshas Rishon Lekoim v'Sheni Likkutei. The Riker Chidush in dem is nicht benegert dem Vayigdal von unser Posuk. Rashi is not bothered with the Vayigdal Moshe from our Posuk. He's bothered with that Vayigdal Moshe, if it's finishing nursing or not. V'Sheni Likkutei. Noch as the Vayigdal from Friedikum Posuk meant Lekoimo. That's what Rashi says Lekoimo. What does it mean Lekoimo? Lekoimo is not by 2 years old. Lekoimo means that he was 11 years old. Vayigdal hayeled meint nicht dem Gidel was noch as man einike. As we learned the Posik before, we learned that it was 24 months. When is it bigger? 11, 12 years old is much bigger. Das ist mit Meshach Jorn, noch dem Zman von Vayigomer. Now the Posik.
Where does it say 11, 12?
Medrash, we got to have it soon in one of the hours, the Rebbe is saying for Medrash, that was 11 years old. Moshe left the house. Moshe left his father and mother when he was 11 years old. So it's just unbelievable. It says Vayigdal hayeled v'tve'elu bas paroi. Right after that, it says Vayi bayomim mo'ed. At the same time, Vayigdal Moshe vayetze. What that mean? So the first one is Take 11, and Vayigdal Moshe, the second one must be that he's in age already that Paroi could make him in charge of his house. Now we're going to learn one more part, and then we're going to come to answer the 5 questions that we learned. And those was the noch. Now the Rebbe is going to have 2 or 3 questions on this Yesod. The Rebbe is going to say it's not questions. Beautiful. First question is, what does it say beginning? It says Vayigdal hayeled. What do you want to tell me? The Vayigdal hayeled is 11 years old. How could it be hayeled 11 years old? Makes more sense. Vayigdal hayeled, he stopped nursing 24 months. So the Rebbe is going to explain it beautiful. The Rebbe says, und das, was wird noch als angerufen Yeled, it can't mean it. A child could ask a question. I'm not accepting what he's telling me. Vayigdal hayeled 11 years old. I should have said Vayigdal Moshe again. Why did it say Vayigdal hayeled? The Rebbe says, weil mir gewinnt schon früher, als Reuven hat gesagt, hayeled einenu. Remember? When he came back to the pit, and Yosef was not there, so he started crying, Vayikras brother, when he said hayeled einenu. And then he said, Al techetu bayeled. Who did he talk about? Meaning the Yosef. Was is done all given 17 years. What is he calling him? Yeled. By 11 years old, Moshe could also be Yeled. It's not a question. Look in our 24, the Rebbe brings more ayahs. The Parshas Vayero, the Yeled, when Avram sent away Shmois and his mother, Ogo, and he gave him Chemes Mayim, and he put him on her shoulder. What does it say? Yeled. You know how old Shmois was then? 16 years old. How could it be Yeled? And the Rebbe has another one, even more. When they came to, in Parshas Vayigash, when Judah went over to Yosef and told them that I can't go back to my father without Binyamin, what did he tell him? That we have a Yeled Skunim Koton. It says clear, a Yeled Skunim Koton, a little child. How old was he? 30 years old.
Why doesn't it say Why doesn't it say 33?
Why? That's how it was.
That was my husband.
And the Rebbe says Be'erich. The Rebbe doesn't say Lamed. The Rebbe says Be'erich. And by Shmois it says Keben. Anyway, so anybody who's going to ask that question, Rebbe, how could you give me a chidush that it was Vayigdal hayeled that he was already 11 years old? It's not Yeled. We have proved that Yeled is fine. Okay. And we bald as origin lekoimo. So we must come to a conclusion that origin is lekoimo. That's why Rashi chooses lekoimo. Ich schon verstandig, was bis Sichos zu dem Zman. When he was at this age, wenn ist schon ausgewachsen bekoimo, kann euch sein Vayigdal Moshe in Gdule Bershivus, Vasheni Likkutei. Damit es euch moven, was Rashi is mefare de Shaile, weil euch war ksiv Vayigdal hayeled. Now we'll understand why Rashi brings the question, nicht also go straight to Omar Rab Yudah Berebeloi. Why? Warum der Iker Chidush befirushoi ist as mit dem, was da steht noch einmal Vayigdal Moshe, beit sich der Teich von Vayigdal hayeled in Friedik Posuk. There's also another medrash that I didn't mention before, that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came back, when he came out, it's Vayigdal Moshe, and he went out, he was either 20 years or 4 years. There's 2 opinions in Medrash Rabbe. How old he was when he went out to...
Here it says he was 5.
Where?
Or 26.
It was 5 like 11.
Yeah, okay. So we have 5 like 11, we have 11, and we have 20 and 4. It's coming up soon. I'll show it to you soon in the hours. 29? Yeah, okay, 29. Niet, ben je bezig John niet als Moshe Rabbeinu bezig Sabi.
Rashi says specific age.
No,
Point
Rashi-
is that it's not just
not 24 months. Yes, okay. So comes out very interesting. When you learn now, let's learn the Chumash. Learn Vayigdal Ayeled. We learn 24. You come to Vayigdal Yomim Moim Vayigdal Moshe. I can't say that it's 24 months. So answering it there, you can't because there's no question when you learn it. The question becomes when you learn this posik. That's why Rashi brings the question and it says, "Valoinema kwa Vayigdal." So what's going on here? Okay. Ois, hey. Choyre can me fragen. About
Kazakhstan, the
No, no.
is 6 years. Yosef was born. He worked 6 years in Lavan.
6-7 years.
I said, and then there were 18 months plus another 2 years. It's 8 years.
18 something. So and he was now 30 and he was now 30.
And Yosef was 39. So it's 31.
It's 30 something.
Fine.
It's not 31, it's 30.
so the Rebbe says be'erech lamet sham. So man doing this the Rebbe Saore. Yeah. Okay. The Choyre oise. The Choyre can me fragen. I said before that the Rebbe is going to ask questions on his own chidush. He's going to begin. As I said before, how could you call him Yeled? Why do you say that Yeled is 11? Yeled should be stopping nurse. Oise. The Choyre can me fragen. Sobald as Bas Paro dem Yeled gegeben Notzli ben Ikeuli. Now the Rebbe is going to ask a beautiful question. Why did she give it to Yocheved to nurse? What does Sichos say? After 2 years, bring him back. She's going to demand, give me back the baby, it's mine. Till she loved him so much that she called him Vayilo Lebein. She called him, it's like our son. She gave him a name Moshe and everything. So the Rebbe says, how could it be? How could he say that's 11?
He also paid for some pay. So
Yeah, right. Very good.
So he can be paid extra.
Very good. She paid for the nursing. Yes, yeah, you're right. Okay. Another question on the Rebbe's Chidush. About as Bas Paro dem Yeled gegeben Notzli ben Ikeuli, ist wie kommt es, was sie hat der Lost, man soll ihm zurückbringen, als noch dem wir es ausgewachsen bekommen, was genau am Meshech Jahr noch dem war Nike. How could it be that she let that go? So the Rebbe says, you could ask a question on my Chidush. It's not a Chidush. How could it be? So the Rebbe is answering it bepashtus. Is the Asbore go bepashtus? The Mutter Yocheved Hashem bekommen ihr Yeled Moshe, because she got him already. Und sie ihm nicht zurückgegeben zum Basparo, she didn't give him back after the time of nursing. Why? No, so sich sicher am Staatlich, wenn zu halten ihm bei sich, was länger noch, das waren einige. She tried. It's our son. It's our son. It was born with all mindset. They were divorced and she married again, Amram, and she had a son, but she's going to give him away by 2 years old. So she was doing everything to all them. Durch verschiedene Asbores, wenn Imukim, what's an Imuk in English? Excuses. Okay. As Boris and Imukim, it's a very interesting warm piece that even Bas Paro could understand it. You know, I nursed him 2 years. He's attached to me. I could have given back. Give him a little more. I hear that Yeled is here zugewohnt. He's used to her and zugebunden. Is the Loshin Gemorah in Aloch is Koruch Achreimoi. He runs always after the mother. It's nicht good, we soll him abreißen. It's not good, it's not healthy for him to take him away by 24 months and bring him to Bas Paro. Und weggeben von ihr wirklich was. Aber wenn ist schon geworden, groß bekommen, aber wenn ich came already to 11 years old, hat sie nicht gehabt kein Brehre und ihm gemusst abgeben zu Bas Paro. There's no choice. She had to give him back then. So now it's understood why it says, Vayigdal Ayeled, Vativeu Bas Paro. When was it? Not when he stopped nursing, it was much later. So there's no question, how come she didn't give him back right up? Oisvov, the Rebbe says, man darf noch aber verstehen. Bald, als Bas Paro hat gewollt, ob Moshe Basich, ist Movement, sie haben dort ihm gekannt verhalten, nur bis wann es kann sein gültig, that am Masle anal. You're telling me that she was holding him till 11 years old? I still have a question on it. How could it be? You say you don't want to give him back right after nursing because he's attached to her. When it's even a lochet brought down, at 5-6 years old, he's already dependent on himself. He doesn't need his mother so much. He's independent already. So how come she kept him till 11? The Rebbe is asking a question. So it doesn't make any sense again. Bald as Bas Paro hat gewollt ob Moshe Basich, is movement, you have that you can't verhalten, no bis wann es kann sein gültig. Our reasons and our, what did you call it before, the Nimukim? And the excuses could work. There comes a time that it can't work anymore. Bas Paro would tell her, he's 6 years old, enough is enough. As far as Yeled is wichtig zu bleiben bei der Meneke, seinig stark zugebundenen Kurze. You could say that he wants to stay with this lady that nursed him for 2 years, he wants to stay with her a little longer. Was das ist ein bisschen Gil von Ben Chomesh Veshesh, L'chol HaYoyser. She's going to really work on it and say, you know what, he's a special kid and he's attached to me and he doesn't let go of me. It's bis zum Gil von Yudale wie Beis Shono. As the Rebbe says, diese Ear, when the Rebbe brings on the Medrash Shmois Rebbe, that he was like 12 years old when Nikla Shmoishe mi Beis Aviv. Okay. Und neu bazoi, wie scheich zu sagen, als bald noch dem soll Moshe in a sehr jungen Alter zukommen zu Gdule Bechshivus, Vasheni Gdule. So we come to a conclusion that he's like 11 years old. But how could it be that he should be in a matzev by 11 years old is the latest that you could give him back? And it says right after that, by Yom Moim, it doesn't say by Yom Rabbi. So it's at the age of 11, he became in charge of Paro's house. How could it be? Doesn't make any sense. The Far is Rashi Mamshir, as the Gdule besteht in them. What is the Gdule? We must say that something happened because it says Vayigdal Moshe. It says already Vayigdal Ayelet is 11 years old, but they're telling Vayigdal Moshe. So Rashi says Gdule. What does it mean? The first Rashi Mamshir as the Gdule besteht in them was we know Paroi al Beisoy. Says nicht Chashiv so Gdule clothes in the Parim. He didn't become a minister. He wasn't what's it called, a Mishnah Lemelech. He wasn't the advisor to Paroi. What was he? He was in charge of the house, a butler. Every morning look in the fridge if there's enough milk or not, or we have to go buy milk. Things that an 11-year-old could do already. She's nicht Chashiv so Gdule clothes in the Parim. Luchen or Aminu Proti of the Yoni Beis Paroi, Beis from Paroi. Was sagt Gdule und Minu, kann sein nur, Basavos ist noch sehr jung. Aber es ist da, sie beim Chedes of them. Has to be a reason why he's making him in charge. That is going to explain the reason later. Wie man gefunden bei Yosef. Also 17, 18 Jahre ist schon gewesen am Emune al Beis Potiphar. He was 17, 18 years old, and he was already in charge on the whole business by Potiphar. As it says that one of the Meforshim say, Rav Shmuel, when she made herself sick and she wanted to, he should sin with her. So it says Vayova Baiso. So Rashi says, what's the one pirush? He came to do the cheshbonis. He was an accountant already by 70 years old. He didn't go to college, but he did it by himself. So he was already running the house. So could be by Moshe Rabbeinu also by 11 years old. He was running the household. That's it. Oizai, the Rebbe is going to explain what is the reason. Rashi says from Rabbi Yehuda but what's the reason that Paroi would take this child that just came to his house by 11 years old, and a month or 2 months later, according to Vayigdal Moshe, by Yom Moim, that he made him in charge of his house? Why should he do it? What's the reason? The Rebbe is going to explain it beautifully in Oizai. Was is Taka that time was Paroi Manik and Moshe al Beisoi in Azai Young? Why is it Taka that he did it? Is das Rashi Merames durch Matik sein von Posik dem Wort Vayigdal Moshe. This is going to give us a reason. That's why Rashi brings down the word Moshe. What does it mean? Und damit bewohnt Rashi noch a Shaile benegert dem Wort. Rashi is not only answering why he brings on Moshe because of this. He has another reason also. What's the other reason? The Choyre is the word Moshe da im Posuk Iberi. Not only in Rashi it's extra, even in Chumash it's extra. Why is it extra? What does it say in the Posuk before? Vayigdal anav v'tevei lebas Paroi. Who was it? Moshe. Next Posuk it says Vayigdal. What do we need Moshe Bechla? Anybody's going to think that it's somebody else in one posik after the other. So it's not only Rashi, but in Chumash also. So the Rashi is answering this also with bringing it down in his pirush of Rashi. The Choyre is the word Moshe in posik Iberik. Wenn sie wollt gestanden nur bei Igdal, bei Yetze Lechov, weil man vom friedlichen posik gewusst hat, er sich wegen Moshe. Darf man darüber sagen, als der Tam, was der posik ist, der Mefahre dem Namen Moshe, weil der Goshe war ich so viel von einem Namen. Wenn das ist nicht Muchach, weiß Bechal von ihm, the Posik is bringing it on. In Posik, the Rebbe asked one of the questions, where do you see him Pshutish Mikro, that he made him in charge of his house? Here we see it. Because the Torah is mentioning Vayigdal Moshe. And the Rebbe says when it mentions a name, it shows on something that it's Chivus. What is the Chivus? He's going to explain what it is. But first we're going to look in 32 with a star. In our Parshas in Shmois, it says, Monon Bechayeyen, Bishmoison. What is Rashi adding it up? It's enough. Monon b'chayei. Why? He mentions something with a name. What is it meaning here? So the Rebbe is explaining. Father Nomen Moshe was the month. Here you have it. The month as Bas Paroi min hamayim mishisiu nishtar v'va'amos amos arbe and azoi weiter. Bas Paroi herself. There's all in Sichos about that she went down and she nullified the avoid Zorah from the Nilus and everything. She became like, let's say, she became a girl, she became a Balchuba, a girl. I don't know about it. I'm just saying it. But she saw Nisim. She saw Nishtarve Amois Arbe. Aaron became 10 times the size, and she picked up the table. That's what she said. So this is and she gave the name Moshe. That's why the Pasuk says Vayigdal Moshe. That's why Rashi brings it down also to answer us how come that he made him Ligdule. The bottom line what the Rebbe is going to say that Bas Paroi didn't let Paroi live. She told him, this is my son, this is a special son, I gave him a name, and I saved him, and I took him out, and I had a nest. You must make him in charge of the house. It's very choshev. That's what the Rebbe is going to bring out. Let's learn inside. And das meint Vayigdal Moshe, das Gadlus was gekommen mit Chavivus. It came because of was Chavivus, beloved, yeah? Yeah. So lieb Moshe's Chavivus, when he sees him by Bas Paroi, listen what it says in Posik, Vayilo lebeim, she made him like her son. Also gepoil by Paroi, shemino chulu al beisoi. Now there we find by Yosef, beautiful proof. What's by Yosef? Weil hat Moshe gegangen bei Potiphar, und Yosef manning when al beisoi. Nicht gucken, listen to this. By Yosef was enough reason not to make him. Nicht gucken, was is given a nar ivri und a nevet. He had both chesroines. Why did he take him? Because he had chen. He liked him. So the same thing is here also. So now we'll understand already. Question number 1. Why is he bringing the question? Because the question is bringing us to understand that Vayigdal Hayeled but Vele Bas Paroi is not by 2 years old. That's why Rashi must bring. Rashi's chidush is on the first posuk and not on the second posuk. Second posuk is no questions. That's why Rashi. Why does Rashi not say it there? Because when you learn there, you have no question. It's 24 months. When you come to the second posuk, you change your whole idea. The chumash is changed. It becomes a lichtike chumash and a lichtike Rashi. Second question was, why is he saying lekoimo? Very simple. Because Rishon Take lekoimo, he was 11 years old. He was not a nursing baby, just finished nursing. And the third question, how do we say it in Pshuto Shel Mikro? Because it says Vayigdal Moshe, comes to show us that in this posuk there is something shivus here. Otherwise, we would have said Vayigdal Vayetzi Elecha. Why does the Moshe bechlal? Fourth question, why is Rashi bringing down Moshe? So we have the answer already. And the fifth question about Rabbi Yehuda Bar Beloi, we still have the question. We didn't answer it. Okay, now we're going to go in Oisches. Kedei soll sich ablegen noch besser darin, als zu lieben sie es rein, gibt man Aminu zu einem, was ist lechoire nicht roi dazu. Yeah? Befragt, as the Dugme Anal von Yosef, the Rebbe is going to ask you a question and say that we're coming now to the sharp child, the salty one. Yes? He's going to ask a question. Huh? Spicy, better. Yeah. Bei uns in Jerusalem used to say, a gesalzener Talmid, a gepfefferter. But the Rebbe uses it in Loshon from that it's Talmid memulach. Memulach means salt. Salt means spicy. It's very good. Yeah, very good. I didn't think of it. Very good word. Okay, the Rebbe is going to say a question that a regular child is going to accept it. Yosef Atzadik was 17 and became the bookkeeper and everything in Potiphar's house. And Moshe, by 11 years old, was in charge of the house. Was not the bookkeeper. He was in charge of the house. It's a chshivus, mino legdule. The Rebbe says, what do we do with a sharp Talmud, with a spicy Talmud, that is going to ask a question and say, how are you comparing Yosef to him? Yosef was 17 and he was 11. Could you compare 11 to 17? 11 is a child, a baby, and 17 is a bocher already, is a mensch. So the Rebbe is going to answer, this is what Rashi brings down. It's a big question that a spicy child is going to ask. Rashi is telling him, you know who's saying it? So then it's going to give you the answer. What is the answer? Chidush niflo b'Yosef. The Rebbe is bringing it down from other places and makes it so understood and so geschmack, unbelievable. Okay, so the child is going to ask that Yosef is not Yosef is not relevant here. Why? Yosef is al-Kolponim al-Given 17, 18 Jahre. Ashenke Moshe was in Parshas given nicht mehr wie Ben Yudale for your base. Ben Yudale for your base. Keniska Lohel is Rashi Maitik as the Balamaima. If you're going to ask me this question, so the answer is going to be in the question was also very interesting. In the question it says that when does he bring it? He brings it to make to the loss of the Rebbe to verantworten und machen glattere Kasche. There's a question that the child is going to have, and this is going to answer it. Okay, what is the answer? Now we're starting to give the answer. Wegen Rabbi Yehuda ber Rabbi Loi, wegen Rabbi Yehuda, the Rebbe says in the Aure, the Stam Rabbi Yehuda is Rabbi Yehuda ber Rabbi Loi, as Rashi says in Gemara Bey. Wegen Rabbi Yehuda wird erzählt in Gemara. This is an interesting Gemara. It is going to answer us the question. Also es gewesen a größer Roni. Bis dass unser Freude gehabt noch ein Baguette. Rabbi Yehuda was in between poor people. It was a special poor people, poor man. Where do we see it? That they had one garment. His wife found somewhere very cheap, and it looked nice, but it was cheap, and she made a nice. In English, it's called a cape. She made like a coat, a cape and it's raining without ends. That's what I understand from the Gemara and the enforcement that I learned. Anyway, she made something on top because probably the levushim on the bottom was embarrassed to go out with it. So she needed a nice cape, and people would think that they have money. So either she used that or he used it. They made it for both. So it's not a shaila from the Ilbash Gever Simla Sicha. It was made lechatchile for both of them. And the Gemara tells us how very dike mindset. Because Rab Shimon ben Gamliel, the Nossi, or the Goizer time is given, there was a problem, and he made a tonnes. Or Rab Yude my time and he came to come. Nicht oben, he came back and don't. His wife was outside probably shopping or what. He couldn't go to shul to the tiniest. And Rab Shimon ben Gamliel was asking, where's Rab Yude Rabbi Eloi? What does he need him? You know what's Rab Yude Rabbi Eloi? When he comes to a tiniest, he's having an effect on the Eibishter to change and take away the problem. He was so poor and so great. Okay. And deswegen, now the Rebbe going to bring out that when you have chayin, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your state, it doesn't matter your status. Rabbi Eloi is so poor. Look what the king made from him. Same thing is also Moshe Rabbeinu. He's so beloved by Bas Paroi. She forced Paroi. It's my son. It's my beloved son. You must make him for this. This is why Rashi is saying, so for Yosef is not proof. The proof is only from the name from Rabbi Eloi, as we're going to see. Von deswegen gefindt man, wir sehen Gemara Shabbos, als der Kaiser hat ihm der Räuben zu sein der Reusha Medaber bechol Mokel. He gave him an assignment. He gave him a note. The Kaiser is telling him, wherever there is a group of people, you are the one that is talking. And not only this. Bees, the Gemara says in Menoches, as Moiryono de Beinesi Ave. He became the Moiroi Roy. You know what Moiroi? Rabbeinu HaKodesh is there, and there's all Tanoim there, and everybody sitting. Who is the Moiroi Roy? Rabbi Yude Rabbi Eloi. Who told them to do it? The Kaiser of Rome. We know Kaiser, even more. We know Kaiser Roy shall Beis Nosi. He became the Roy of the Beis Nosi of Rabbi Yude, Rabbeinu HaKodesh, Rabbi Yude Nosi. He became the one. The story, just interesting to mention the story, that it's coming not from such a great story. The story is not so great. The story is when the Gemara tells a story that Rav Shimon ben Yochai with Rav Yude ben Rabbi Eloi and Yehuda ben Geirim, and one more, I don't remember the name, I didn't write it down. So there was one more guy, and they were sitting there, and they were talking about Rome. So they said, somebody said that they made Rome is very nice people. Look how they made very special roads. They made the gyms to be able to do exercise and everything. So Rav Shimon ben Yochai said, whatever they did for themselves. Rav Yude ben Rabbi Eloi gave them credit. He said, whatever they did is a very good thing. And then, Rabbi Yosef ben Chalafte, thank you very much. And then came, what did he say, Rabbi Yosef ben Chalafte? It was quiet. Rabbi Yosef ben Chalafte, it was quiet, should stay. Rav Shimon ben Yochai, that says, have to kill him. That's why he ran to the 12, 13 years in the Meire. And then Rabbi Yehuda ben Geirim, that says, B'Shevach, that's why I gave him these three things. Wherever he is the main speaker, whenever he's the Moiroi Roya in the bais, and that's what happened there. So what do we see now? A poor person, it's not even fit for a Kaiser. The Kaiser is rich in everything. You're going to choose somebody to be the Moiroi Roya. You're going to choose somebody to be Rosh Hashanah. Take somebody who's dressed nice, who has a lot of money and everything. No, he chose that because he had chaim, because he spoke good about it. Deswegen gefindt man, as der Kaiser, next paragraph, warum Agamas Rabbi Yude ist mit seinen äußerlichen Rezäunnisdicken Matze wird nahe Chayok, given in a Zio, was is nicht matim. It doesn't fit that such a person should be in this status. Paraminu von der Reusch in der Augen von Malchus. Kniska Loela, as given a größerer Roman, viele in Vergleich mit anderen nicht. It was a very big oni. Could you imagine that either he goes out to the street or she goes out, he has only one baguette? Aber mit Zad Ameile, wenn es ist rein bei Malchus, because of this is rein. The Rebbe says in our before retrieve the star, Shabbos, I'm sorry. Shabbos, in Gemara Shabbos Shom, Shediba b'shvach HaMalchus. That's why I got it. It's what happened. You diba b'shvach HaMalchus, you get chayin. Same thing as by Moshe also. Now the Rebbe is going to bring. Or dafke der Kaiser gemacht al Rosh HaMedabrim, we know Kaiser Rosh HaMedabrim. Al der Zeh is moving ben Yoneinu. Al pias Moshe. Is noch gewesen jung. And now, is aber mit seiner Meile sein, because is da kana. But he's choviv, so much choviv, because he's he's a son of Bas Paroi, was otim arois genommen min amayim, aylo lebein, ot az koinig vechshivos be Bas Paroi, bizas min Paroi al Beisoy. If he's there, all the questions are done, everything is beautiful, and it's how to understand what Rashi bothered here. It's amazing. The whole chiddush that Rashi is giving is on the first pasuk, not on the second pasuk. But he can't give it on the first pasuk, he must give it on the second pasuk. Because when you learn the first pasuk, you have no question. You learn, Vayigdal Ayela Vele Basparo, he was 24 months. Then we come to second pasuk, you must change the first pasuk. Oistes. As we mentioned before, there's going to be a Yenishel Torah in Pirush Rashi. Okay. Alle in Yonim was man gefindt by Moshe Rabbeinu. The Rebbe made Moshe Rabbeinu in parentheses because it goes on everything, on every Eden, on everything in the world. Alle in Yonim was man gefindt by Moshe Rabbeinu v'Gashmis kommen und werden gestaltet von derselben in Yonim wie sie seine Beruchnis. Everything comes from Ruchnies into Gashmis. Im Yuchet bei Moshe Rabbeinu was es gewähne Mato, Punkt wie es gewähne Meilo. Especially by Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu was Lemato, the same as is Lemailo. What is it? It was an Shome da Atziles Lemato ir boilo mazeh. Was so is euch moving bei Yonenu. As in the zwei Yonik Dule, originally Koimo Vasheni Likdule Shemeno Paro Al Beisoy, sagt sich heraus die zwei Yonim im Madregas Moshe Beruchnis. Going to bring out that Moshe Rabbeinu at not only Begashmies, Vaigdal Moshe, originally Koimo Vasheni Likdule, first was 11 years old. Then he came Likdule, but in Ruchnis also. What could be two Madregas in Ruchnis by Moshe Rabbeinu similar in parallel to this? The Rebbe is going to explain it. But when das verstehen, beegdem was from Posik, we're going to preface something as Zoya, and then we're going to understand it. But when das verstehen, beegdem was from Posik, when you get later, Moshe, Vataro Isha, Vatelet Bein, Vatero Isoi, Kitoiv. Yeah? In our Parsha, Vataro, Yocheved got pregnant, and she had a baby, and she saw Kitoiv. So the Rebbe wird gebracht in Zoya. In Zoya there's a Machloikes, zwischen Rab Chie und Rab Yosi. Rab Chie sagt, der ist Yalet Mol. What did Vatero Isha Kitoiv? He was born circumcised. And Rabbi Yosef Omer Neiru the Shrinte the Neuer Bei Chomos. She saw the light of the Shrine that it's shining on him. The Beshaite the Isyalit, when he was born, Ismaili Kol Beis Neuro. The Olas became light, lichtig. And the Zohar is finishing. Valdo Kitoiv Uksit. And on this it says Kitoiv in the Posik. Vekule Ave. The Zohar is finishing that he had everything Moshe Rabbeinu. He's before in Oiracham, a beer of the Zohar. So he's saying, as the Machloikis from Rab Chia and Rab Yosi is nicht the Metzias. Lechoire, Rab Yosi says she saw mole, and Rab Chia says that he was born mole, and Rab Yosi says that he lied. So the Oiracham is explaining this Zohar, and he says no, there's no Machloikis between them. What is the difference? Beide halten as bei Moshe seinen gewinn beide in Yonim. They had both. So why do they each one say something different? Beide, Neulat Mol und Neuridisch Schrinte. Machloikis is no was hat Yocheved gesehen. The Shaila is, what did Yocheved appreciate? What did she look most at what thing? Rab Chia says that she looked especially that it was Neulat Mol. Rab Yosi says that she saw especially that the light in the earth. So she saw both. The question is, what was more? The Rebbe is going to bring out why Rabbi Yosi says like this, why Rabbi Chia says like this. Then he's going to compare Rabbi Chia to Rabbi Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi, and everything is going to be unbelievable to see what Moshe's darge was. Now the Rebbe is going to ask the question: what's the Rabbi Chia as the Shalet Maul? Rabbi Yosi says Neiru the Shrinte the Neuber Chamos. Why? What's the machlokes between them? Why should they say that this is especially what she saw? And he says she saw something. She was emphasizing on something else. Is that Tate Mevayat? The Rebbe brings them from Likkutei Yitzchok in seine Aros of Zoya. As jeder einer is doiresh, lefi madregos soy. According to his level, that's what he's saying. Where do we see it? The Rebbe is saying very geschmack. Rab Chia was is prinas Yesoid, brought down in Kabbalah to Rab Chia as the level of Yesod. Doiresh, what's Yesoid? You know that in the Esser Spheres, there's Moichen in Midas. In Midas, there's Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Oid. Then comes Yesoid. Yesoid is Mekabel from all the 5 Midas. And Yesoid is the one that reproduction, everything has to do with Yesoid. When it says in Zoya that we say Friday afternoon, Chesed Roy Yemine, Gvuret Roy Smolo, it comes to Midas HaYesod is the Aver of Bris. That's why Rab Chia, because he's Prinas Yesod, what does he say? The Doire Shenoilad Mol Shikoel Rosa de Bris Yesod. Mol goes on Yesod. Rab Yosi, that is Malchus. What is Malchus? Doire Sheneiru de Shrinte Neuer Bel Shrinte B'Chnas. What is Shrine? We learn coming up not to Yud Shvat, we're going to learn the Maimar of Boselegani. Shrinte means that it's resting lemata. The Oyer Hashem is like, this is what Rabbi Yosi says. That what? That you saw the Shrine that's an name, that the eyes got the light and everything. And the Siyum Ayin in Zoya, the Rebbe is adding on here something very interesting, that this Siyum in Zoya, what it says, Valdo Kitoi Vuksi V'Kule Ave, is nicht from the Rabbi Yosi. The Rebbe brings it also from his father. It's not from Rabbi Yosi. No, the stomach von Zoya führt euch, als ein Gewinn bei ihm beide in Yonim Kedelkamon. It's like the Rebbe said before, that there's no machlokes in Metzias, the Roy Rachama says, both of them think there was both things on them, but the question is what she emphasized. The Rebbe said, Kedelkamon, the Rebbe is going to explain it even more. Oishur. The Asbora in Oishur is Pshut Oishis. To explain it in simple words, we should be able to understand it. What's the difference with Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Chia? What's the idea of Noilat Mol or Shchinte? It's two completely different things at different levels in Moshe Rabbeinu. The Asbora in Oishur is Pshut Oishis. When I get the miles from Madreges from Moshe, I find 2 Yonim. We find 2 ways in Moshe Rabbeinu in his superiorities, in his levels. Zay Meile v'shlemus ben Yigel Atzmoi. First we find something about Moshe Rabbeinu himself. As we say, as given, the Rambam says unbelievable words. Nivchar mikol min ha'odam, the chosen of all min ha'odam. He's the one that is chosen from everybody. Echer in ganzen vom Welt, he was Eier from the world. And kol kulei dovuk meyuchat metelikus. He was here lemata begashmies, and he was dovuk meyuchat metelikus. Also the Rambam, but in Ilchas Yesodei HaTorah, not in Pirush HaMishnayos. This is one thing, Moshe Rabbeinu, one darge, one concept, as is for himself. Based on Shleimus als Roye, was rot mamshach mashpia given, alle in Yonim, Gashmim v'Ruchneim, zu Eden. So we have here, see already something very interesting, as the Rabbi is going to explain it more. I can't hold myself. We're seeing already the idea that Rabbi Chia saw the union of Mile. What's the union of Mile? Ismail. He was born Mol. He was Lamato like Lamailo. What does Rabbi Yossi see? As the Shechine, what is Shechine? As he has to do with other people. It's amazing what the Rebbe is making for this thing. Huh? So we have to think about it was the Rebbe's mother. That was Chane. That's why it's so great to be connected to. Everybody gives names to Yitzchok and Chane, because they're the Sichos. It's a Sichos Godel BeYosef. They brought down the Rebbe, the Moshiach, and everything. It's unbelievable. Okay, so Moshe Rabbeinu gave Gashmim Ruchnim. Gashmim, he took him out of Mitzrayim. He gave him Dimon, and then he gave him the water also, and then the Anonim. Everything was Moshe Rabbeinu. Then Ruchnias in Aramaic, we don't say Roye Nemon means a faithful shepherd. When it comes to Kabbalah in Zoya, when it says Raye Me'emne, it's a completely different word. Me'emne doesn't mean a faithful shepherd. You know what it means? Roye Emunah. Maim Avato Tetzave, the last time what the Rebbe gave out. Yeah? This speaks there about, in very long, the idea of Raye Me'emne. That is Roye Emunah. That Moshe, and he brings on the Gemara, Gam V'Pomachtate Rachmane Kalye, that we are Maminim Bnei Maminim. But the Emunah should be set in the head where you, Chaz V'Sholem, going to steal and say, Rebbeinu Shalom, make sure that it's a good steal. Nobody catches me in a place to break the house, because I hope not an empty house, I'll find a lot of guilt and a lot of gold. So this could happen by Eid, because the Emunah is hovering. Moshe Rabbeinu is bringing it inside. That's what the Rebbe says here. Gashmim v'ruchnim zu Eid. And durch ze lechol oilam kuloi. Moshe Rabbeinu is supplying the whole world. Because das ist verbunden bichlal mit atnue. It's not only that this is for himself and this is for others. The Rebbe is adding on in the brackets that it's atnue von Yeride von seinem Mame du Matzev Neile, was ist Echa vom Welt. To be able to be mashpia, you have to lower yourself. Und die beide Stücke Meile sein bei ihm gewesen, bei Gilui Teke, the Rebbe is adding on even more. When did he get these 2 miles? Not when he grew up. As soon as he was born, he had Noilat Mol Kshela Atzmoi, and he had the idea of, what's the second thing? Nismala Bai Soiro. Und die beide Stücke Meiles seien bei ihm gewesen, bei Gilui Teke, und wie der Medrash sagt, vom Posuk Moshe Yoroye, am Moiridike Geschmack Wort der Medrash. Oye Metuken Lekach. In Parshas Revi, it starts this Chitas, this Chumash starts, Moshe Yoroye Tzoin Israel. Why doesn't it say Moshe Roye Tzoin Israel? What's the idea of Oyo? Medrash says, Oyo, he was born a shepherd. He didn't come and he didn't have to go to university to learn how to be a shepherd, not to be a faithful shepherd. He was born like this. Oyo Metuken Lekach. This is both things that we learned by Moshe Rabbeinu, that he got it as soon as he was born. Where the Rebbe is explaining. Noilat Mol weist auf seine eigene Meile V'Shleimus, shows on in himself, Wolfen von Echa vom Welt, Eier vom World. Was das ist der Riem von Noilat Mol, nicht gesehen der Teva Oilom, als bei ihm leicht begollt, der Nefesh Chelekis. He doesn't have the Orle even, he was born without Orle. He is on the Orle, on the Elem, von Yetzer Ora. Look at 57. 57, the Gemara says in Sukkah, Nikro Orl. The Gemara counts out all the names of the Yetzer Hara. And one of the names is Orel. Who gave him the name Orel in Gemara? Moshe Rabbeinu. So Moshe Rabbeinu was born without the Orel, it was no Yetzer Hara. And this is one level for himself. And das was Neiru, the Schrinte, the Neuer Bay, is Ismalje Kol Beiso. The Rebbe underlined Beiso. In the Ameile Bestemmes zu seiner Spoi Vaure zu Iden und Welt. Und der Rebbe, mit Zad Brinnas Yesoid, was ist bei Aziles, Yesoid ist in Aziles, Echa Fad in Evroim, ist Yesoid Lemata, Bavoidas Hashem, in der Neufen, as the Riker Ameile und Weikos, Veskashos, Velikus, Shleimus Atzvoi. So if I look at Yesod as Rabchie was, so even Lemato, you in the level of Atziles, and it has to do with you, you're always connected to the Eibishter. Das was mit euch getan und Echa vom Welt. Der Riber sagt, Rabchie, Brinnas Yesod, Rabchie sees, what did Yocheved saw? She saw the mind of Moshe, as is Yesod, as is in Atziles. She saw that he has no Orle. As the mind of Moshe was the Torah bringt Arois, is das what they shalet Mol, Moshe's mind of Shlemus Latzme. This is Mitzad Rabchie. But Mitzad Rabbi Yossi, Shaprinas Malchus, what Malchus is the end of coming down Lemato, was is Ma'aven Evroim, Mashpia in Olam Esbiyah. It's Malchus is not only Mashpia, Malchus is creating. We know the phrase of Siddes. Malchus that Siles, Nase Kesser Lebrie. Malchus is collecting everything. Let's not make our more klum, like the moon. She's collecting everything from the Yesoid. And then she's with Samtzem, she gives it over Lemato. So Malchus has to do with Lemato. What is it? It is Ismali Kol Beise. Oir. Was ist mehr, wenn ich freue mich bei Null im Sbia, kommt das euch bei Avodas Hashem, als der Iker Meile Veshleimus ist in Ashpoi Veridet Zazulas. This is what Yocheved saw. Und der Rebbe sagt, Rabbi Yossi, Prinas Malchus, als die Meile von Moshe hat sich angesehen in dem Boss, Neiro des Schrinte, der Neuer Beis, Malje Kol Beis, und Ismaila Beis Kol Oyer. Now, when I said by Rabbi Priya says this, by Rabbi Yossi says this, beautiful, how it fits and it's correct. Perfect. The other Rabbi. Now the Rebbe is going to bring out something else that's even like the Eibishter, we could say it, that the idea of the Atzmoi and how it comes down the matter. And we mentioned before, not to forget at the beginning of this page, that the Tnue of being Mashpia, Ruchnes V'Gashmies, is a Yeride La'atzmoi. Look at this, how it happens by the Eibishter. Is the Milo, as the Koyach, or Ein Sof Shemetzusim Atzmusoi, Zog Zicharois Davke in Sphiras HaMalchus. Where do you see, where is the being Nikel? Metziusi Atzmus Umeus? The Rambam says, who is creating Yesh Me'ayin? Davki somebody who is Metziusi Atzmusoi. So what happens then? It comes on Lemato, Tzayin of Yerida. Is there Shabbos from Yesh V'Dov, Nifrat V'Noilem Es Biyah. When Ishtin is Sphiras Shelem Aylo Memela. There you don't see, there is only oil. Atziles is only oil. Where do you have Atzmus? Davki do Lemato beget Atzmus. Al der Zeh Zoich Lemato. As the Emes Meile Pshit. Same thing is the Lemato by us, in our avoide. As the Emes Meile, this is what the Rebbe brings out here, what I said before, to help somebody else, to be mashpia on somebody else, help somebody else. Al der Zeh Zoich Lemato by us, as the Emes Meile Pshitus, Zog Zichois Davke in der Ashpoin, am Shochet zu Azulas. Was Begilo is das Verbund mit der Yeride V'Ashpol in der Madrege. The Rebbe said many times, if somebody's going to say, you know what, learn with somebody, I'm ready. I should go out and look for people to put on film. This is it's not for me. It's a Yeride. I could sit and learn in the meantime. Yeah. That's the main thing. Or should Aleph. Now we're going to come back and see. The Rebbe said it's Yena Shel Torah. So we have to connect all these. The Rebbe said we're going to preface the Zohar. Now we have to connect it back to Rashi. What does it have to do with Rashi? What is Rashi hinting us in the bringing Omar Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi? As I said before, he's going to bring the Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi is the one that is the same as Rav Yossi. And he brings down both things together as a mile of Rav Yossi. Rav Yossi brings down only Malchus, because he is Malchus. Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi brings on both. Brings on Yesoid and Malchus. Unbelievable. Und das ist Rashi Meram, Omar Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi, Orish Lekoyma Vasheni Ligdule, Shemino Paro Al Beisoy. Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi says both things. He says Lekoymo, and he says Ligdula. Lekoymo is himself, and Ligdula is for Mashpia. So Madrege is Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi, because Rav Yehuda bar Eloi is level, the rest of the Meile, in Beite in Yoni. Rav Chia said that Yocheved saw only Mol. Rav Yossi said that she saw only by Zoyro. Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi sees both things together. Sign them Gilu from the Shlemus Atzmoi Lekoymo, as he says, aber Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi, originally Lekoymo Vasheni Ligdulo. Sign the minion fun Ashpoa Lazulas Ligdulo, Shemino Paro Al Beisoy. How do we see it? Rabbi is going to explain it. The Biur in the Pnimius in Yoni. The Chelek between Rav Yehuda bar Rabbi Eloi and Rav Yossi. I'm going to bring the difference. Why is Rav Yehuda bar Eloi in this level that he could bring both, and Rabbi Yossi is saying only meaning of Malchus. The Chelek between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Eloi and Rabbi Yossi is beide is in Yonom Madrigos and Sfiras Malchus. They both Malchus, but there's a major difference. Rabbi Yossi is Begimatria Elokim. Yossi is numerical value of Elokim. And when you make the calculation just in a joke, don't count Elokim as with a kuf. Do it with a hey, because otherwise it's not gonna be the right numbers. It's not gonna work. Yeah. Okay. But Shem Elokim. Why Shem Elokim Malchus? Very simple to understand. What's Elokim? Elokim is Begematria Teva. Elokim is Metzamtzem. Avaya is Yudke Vovke Aya de Noilomes. So Elokim has to do with Malchus. This is Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yehuda is Meloshno Yidoy or Bittel was das is in Yonah von Sfiras Malchus. As the Rebbe brings down from Teroyer from Malt Rebbe that it's on. Yehuda is Parshas in Pshutei Shel Mikro when we learn Yehuda is apam oides Hashem, thanking Hashem, praising Hashem. But Chassidus is learning that Yehuda comes also from Meloshno Yidoy. Yidoy means I'm admitting. What mean admitting? Bittel. Who is Bittel? Malchus. Let's not make more klum. We said before, Malchus is like the moon. The moon has nothing, she's just receiving. Same thing here also. So we came to a conclusion that both of them have the union of Malchus. By Rabbi Yossi we see Elokim, by Rabbi Yehuda we see Oidoy is the union from Bittel. Now the Rebbe is going to bring out what is the difference between them and where do we see that Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Eloi as the Meile that this is both things in Moshe Rabbeinu, not like Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi that they see only one. Is aber da Chelek zwischen sie. A moire dicker Chelek. Unbelievable. Rabbi Yossi is the Sfiras HaMalchus, is a Redes in Biyah. Rabbi Yehuda is the Sfiras HaMalchus, is Nochin Atziles. What does it mean? Very simple. We said before that Malchus has nothing. Malchus is collecting everything from the Spheres. So Malchus has, like to say, 3 stages. Malchus says she's collecting, Malchus says she's for herself, then Malchus says she's metzamtzem and gives over. So the Rebbe says very simple. Rabbi Yossi Sfiras HaMalchus is Yeredes in Biyah. So when he comes down in Biyah, what does he sing? He's seeing already Biyah, he doesn't see Lemail. Rabbi Yehuda is Sfiras HaMalchus is noch in Atziles. That's why I could see both things together. For the Chelek is Ech Merum is Zere Nemen. Look at this unbelievable. The Rebbe is bringing down in the names, you'll see the difference. Where do we see it? Rabbi Yossi is Begematria Elokim. As you said before, you know what it means Elokim? That says, Aleph, she's no Shem Elokim and not Shem Havaya. Rabbi Yossi has nothing indication them of Shem Havaya. It's only Shem Elokim. Right? Yossi is Elokim. Based on another thing what Rabbi Yossi has, and in them Guf and nicht Elokim steht Begilui, and steht na Gematria Belvester. His name is not Elokim. What is his name? Yossi. The Alter Rebbe says in Shara Yuchet Ve'emunah, so then you take a word and you transform it into numerical value. And you learn another word, like from Yossi, you make Elokim, comes from Tzimtzumim and Tzimtzumim. So I see that it's not, he doesn't have Shem Havaya, and his name is not Elokim, his name is Yossi. Now, comes to Yehuda, is unbelievable. Mashenke Yehuda, was in them words stehen die Oisies von Shem Havaya Begilui. In Yehuda, it says Yudke Vovke. You have Adalet also, but there's Yudke Vovke. So what does Rabbi Yehuda have? Rabbi Yehuda has Malchus because he is Zoidoe, and he has Yehuda Yudke Vovke. That's why he has both things together. Omar Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Eloi, Arishon Lekoimo Vasheni Likkutei. Und davon kommt euch der Chelek ben Yadeinu. Now we understand what the difference is here. Mitzad Rabbi Yossi Malchus kommt darauf in Biyah. Sich die Meile Nashpo Melucha Alam. That's why he saw. What did she see? What was the emphasis? Rabbi Yossi says she saw the light. Mashenke Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Eloi, Shem Havaya begolui. Malchus steht in Atziles before he's going down. So die Darger sich kommen beide in Yonim und Meiles. Von einer Seite ist Malchus verbunden und Meyuched mit der Sphäre של Meilo ממנו. ולהידוך ist Asher Shmokor v'Shavu Shoel v'Sarab kommen euch in den Evroim nifrad. She has both things. She has the Meile that she's in Atziles, Meile that she could bring it down also. This is Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Eloi. Look in our 70. ויש למה שלכם כוסף רש"י גם ברבי אלוהי. Why is that? To emphasize that Rabbi Yehuda has the Meile of Atziles and has the Meile of coming down. What's Eloi? You could have said, why doesn't it say Stam Amar Rabbi Yehuda? In the Aore, in the beginning, we brought Gemara Beye, Stam Rabbi Yehuda is Rabbi Yehuda. So say Amar Rabbi Yehuda. What does Rashi have to say Amar Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Eloi? Everything is calculated and everything is with a cheshbon and everything is fit. So he says, that's why he brings them Rabbi Eloi. Why is that? As Malchus is related and connected to Ayer in Atziles. In a different language. She's not a bit in Sfiras HaMalchus. There is a bit in Malchus. There is bit in Malchus. Was is darf sein mit Achel Zabit, Kim Shikora Shuvene Zekev. The Rebbe is going to bring down a muscle from a Melech. Same thing is here also in Malchus. Malchus has to have the Kredas Bittel. And the Gemara tells us in the Halacha is that we are davening Shemini Esrei, we do 4 times bowing down. Yeah? We do Baruch, we move our knees, Ato is bowing down, and then we stand up by Hashem. A Melech, it's not like this. But you know what Melech is? When he starts Shemini Esrei, he says Baruch, Ato, he stays like this all Shemini Esrei. Why? Because he's a Melech, he has to have more Bittel. He's a godly, he's a Melech, he's running everything. From the other side, if he's going to be like this in the Meluche, he's Ochum Way, he's no more Meluche. And my Rosh Malchus, there's no Melech. The Rebbe said, finishing, on later, the Nasus from Melech, Oifman. You must have this Nasus also. Same thing as Malchus also. Malchus has the idea of Bittel coming down, which has the idea of Lemailo. This is Rabbi Yehuda ber Rebbe Eloi. The Rebbe brings Rabbi Yehuda ber Rebbe Eloi, beide Meiles. Rabbi Yehuda ber Rebbe Eloi is bringing out both. Side the Shleimus Atzmoi, the Shleimus of Moshe Rabbeinu Atzmoi in us also, the Richot and Dveikus from Telekus, Echa von oben zu ton mit Zulas, wo das ist auch Rishon lekoimo, himself, everything by himself, Neulad Mol. Und the Shleimus Nashpoi veis Nasus, oiv Azulas, Hasheni Ligdula, Shemino Paroi, al Beisoi. So we have the mile of Mile, we have the mile of Oba Bais. Moshe has both miles, as soon as he was born, he has both miles. There's the mile of Aroy and Nemon, and there's the mile of Latzmoi also. And this is Shabbos Parshas Shmois, Tovshin Lamed Zay.